"Auntie, when you die, can you give this to me? I want to give it to my wife." "I think it's fun." So I teased him with a smile. "Sure." As soon as my little nephew heard that, he clapped his hands happily and said, "Then give it to me right now. Grandma said she'll get rid of you in a few days." I instantly thought back to my mom's weird behavior yesterday. "You have to eat this, no exceptions." I was freaked out by the look in my mom's eyes and stepped way back. Mom seemed to realize she'd gone too far and forced a stiff smile. "Your sister-in-law waited in line just to buy this for you. You can't not eat any of it." My sister-in-law chimed in. "Right, Jing Jing. Mom said you love fried dough sticks." I waited in line for half an hour. Don't be so ungrateful. Seeing I couldn't get out of it, I took the fried dough stick. Then I spotted my little nephew nearby and had an idea. I tore off a piece and tried to feed it to him. "Mommy bought these tasty fried dough sticks, Song Song. Have a bite first." When my mom saw this, she panicked. She slapped the fried dough stick right out of my hand and yelled at me, "If I tell you to eat it, you eat it. Why are you feeding Song Song?" I was confused why he couldn't have any. Mom froze for a second and explained awkwardly, "Song Song's too little. Kids get dumb if they eat too many fried dough sticks." I stared at my mom. I had mixed feelings. I'd seen Song Song eating fried dough sticks on my sister-in-law's social media. He was fine eating them back then. Why not now? Even I, who's pretty oblivious, could tell something was off, so I brushed it off and said, "I'm full from eating out. If fried dough sticks make you dumb, I won't eat them anymore either. How am I supposed to work and make money if I turn stupid?" After saying that, I glanced at my mom out of the corner of my eye. When she heard me, she quickly signaled to my sister-in-law, who jumped in to smooth things over. "If Jing Jing doesn't want to eat it, let it go. They're just fried dough sticks. Don't let it ruin our day." When my sister-in-law said that, Mom sighed and gave up, then started packing stuff for our trip out. I hid a piece of the fried dough stick to get it tested later and see if there was really nothing wrong with it. My dad passed away young. My brother and I were raised by our mom. I later moved away for work. One time I came home unexpectedly. My bedroom was gone and all my stuff was piled up in the storage room. I was furious. I bought this house with my own money after I started working. I couldn't believe I didn't even have a bedroom here anymore. Mom begged me to sign the house over to my brother. Song Song needs to go to school, and only kids whose parents own a place here can get into the best kindergarten in the neighborhood. I refused her right away, which led to a month-long Cold War with my family. This time, Mom reached out to make up, and I was really happy about it. I thought we could spend a nice, happy new year together as a family. But then I found out this huge secret from my little nephew. I still wasn't sure if it was true, but a deep sense of unease kept growing inside me. We were going canyon rafting today, so I didn't have time to check the fried dough stick right away. 2 hours later, we arrived at the upper part of the canyon rafting spot. It was flood season, so the current was fast, and there were tons of people there. The owner handed out life jackets one by one. That's when I noticed Song Song wasn't with us. Confused, I asked my mom, "Where's Song Song?" Mom said, "Song Song's too young for this. Let's just go without him." I thought it was weird. He'd been the one begging to come here. I just seen a kid his age get in a raft and take off. When she saw I was suspicious, my sister-in-law explained, "Jing Jing, you barely come home." I didn't want Song Song crying and throwing a fit. "After we finish this, I'll take him to do other fun stuff." I nodded thoughtfully, figuring she had a point. We got in the raft and set off. The current was rough, and after a few sharp turns, we drifted far from the other rafts. We hit the most intense part. My sister-in-law suddenly suggested taking a photo of me and Mom, but we were too close to fit in the frame, so she told us both to move to the back of the raft. My ex-husband personally sent me to a military court. After being dishonorably discharged, I secretly finished my military separation paperwork and requested to be exiled to the border. I saw Lu Zhengyan again 10 years later at a commendation ceremony. One of his bodyguards recognized me. He piped up, "Commander Su, Major General Lu hasn't remarried in 10 years. The whole military's waiting for you two to get back together." Right after he spoke, Lu Zhengyan walked in. Dressed in a crisp military uniform, he drew everyone's attention at once. 10 years apart, Lu Zhengyan was still incredibly handsome. He'd lost his youthful edge, though, and his face held more calm authority. The man stared at me quietly for a long time, like he had so much to say. In the end, he only spoke gently. "Su Langson, long time no see." "Yeah, long time no see," I replied flatly, showing no emotion at our reunion. 10 years ago, a major flaw in my battle plan led 17 team members into a deadly ambush, and they were all killed. Once it came out, my ex-husband took me to court himself. My dad disowned me on the spot. Families of the fallen soldiers stormed the detention center and threw a whole bottle of strong acid in my face. But no one knew it was him, Lu Zhengyan, who let his mistress tamper with the intel and then threw me under the bus when it all went wrong. Zhao Kai, head of the command post, rushed over excitedly, hesitant to shake his hand. "Major General Lu, it's such an honor to have you here at our border command post." Seeing me bandaging a wounded soldier, Zhao Kai turned and called to me, "Dr. Su, come say hi to Major General Lu. He's the youngest major general in the whole military. What a privilege to meet him." At his voice, my hand froze mid-bandage, but I didn't look up. Reporters spotted me right away and swarmed over. "Commander, you're working as a field doctor here? You used to be the youngest Special Forces Battalion deputy commander in the military. Does it bother you to be giving shots and IVs on the border now? I heard your ex has kept a position open for you all these years and kept putting off his wedding to Staff Sergeant Chin. What do you think about that?" I ignored the microphones practically pressed to my face and kept working, but my hand shaking as I grabbed the medicine bottle. I knew Lu Zhengyan all too well. I didn't buy his so-called devotion for a second, I just stayed on guard. The scene stayed tense until Lu Zhengyan stepped in front of me and blocked the cameras. "This is a private matter between me and my ex-wife. No interviews. Please leave." He turned to me, his eyes complicated. "Su Langxian, He paused, then only said, "Long time no see." After all these years, hearing his voice made my hand jerk. Crash! The medicine bottle shattered on the ground, liquid and glass flying everywhere. A shard cut my hand, and a drop of blood fell from my fingertip. Lu Zhengyan quickly grabbed my hand. "How could you be so careless?" I pulled my hand away fast and apologized to Zhao Kai. "Station chief, I'm sorry. I'll clean this up and the cost of the bottle will come out of my salary." Just then, a soft female voice came from the door. "Zhengyan, what are you doing here? Leaving the base so suddenly had me and your parents really worried." I looked up. Qin Yue walked in smiling, looped her arm through Lu Zhengyan's naturally and kissed him on the lips. She was the one who tampered with the intel on Operation Fox Hunt 7 10 years ago, getting our comrades killed, and she was Lu Zhengyan's fiancée now. Behind her stood my parents, Su Jianjun and Lin Hui, the same ones who'd disowned me a decade earlier. Qin Yue looked at me and smirked. "Deputy Commander Su, long time no see. Oh, and your parents adopted me as their goddaughter. I guess I should call you sister." I stared at my parents. They'd aged so much, their hair completely white, their backs hunched. A sharp pain twisted in my chest. If they knew this goddaughter was the one who got our comrades killed and destroyed my life, what would they think? Su Jianjun glared at me coldly. "Yu Wei is our only daughter. A disgrace who got our soldiers killed? I can't even stand to look at you." Lin Hui snapped, "Zhengyan, why are you wasting time on this military scum? Good riddance if she dies out here on the border." My parents' words made everyone in the command post stare at me strangely. I looked away, holding back the heartache, refusing to meet their eyes. Lu Zhengyan sighed. "Don't blame your parents. What happened all those years ago hit them really hard." He held out a fancy gold-embossed business card. "I owe you so much. Call me if you ever need anything." I didn't refuse the card, or rather, I took it politely, like I would any strangers, and set it aside right away. I didn't believe Lu Zhengyan had found me by accident, and I wanted nothing more to do with him. But 3 days later, I got a call from Zhao Kai. "Doctor, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you used to be a Special Forces Deputy Commander. It's a waste to have you here. I'll mark this month as full attendance and send your pay straight to your card. You won't need to come in tomorrow." Before I could respond, he hung up. I did a long-distance relationship with my wife for 10 years. I applied for a marriage green card 10 times and got rejected every single time. By the 10th try, even the visa officer was fed up and laid it all out for me. "Sir, I told you your paperwork is wrong. The person you claim as your spouse is already married. Her husband got his green card 10 years ago. Your marriage certificate is fake." With that, he turned his computer screen toward me. Under my wife's spouse column was her brother-in-law's name. I couldn't believe it. I called my wife right away and she spoke to me casually over the phone. "Our marriage certificate is fake. I did get married to my brother-in-law. It was so my sister and his kid could move abroad for a better, easier education. You've already waited 10 years for me. You're used to it. Just wait a few more years. When Hao Hao turns 18 and his citizenship can't be revoked, we'll get married." I didn't lose my temper. I just said calmly, "No thanks, I'm not into people who are already married." Then I called my assistant and told him to fire Liu Ruyan from the overseas company and freeze all her cards. 10 years ago, Liu Ruyan lost her overseas assignment spot. I hated seeing her so down, so I secretly set up an exclusive overseas program just for her. I got her into a top overseas university, spent millions to buy a professor position, pulled strings for her every step of the way, helped her build a world-class R&D team, and made her the youngest external consultant in the US. Because of visa issues, I could only stay in this country 3 months a year before I had to leave. I was exhausted from traveling back and forth for a decade. Every single year, I prepared all the documents for the marriage green card early, checked every detail, and submitted them. But it got rejected every time. Liu Ruyan always comforted me. US marriage green cards are super strict, especially when your spouse is a high-level tech worker like me. It's normal to get denied. We'll try again next year. I used to think I just had bad luck. Now I know the person next to me had been lying this whole time. I once asked her brother-in-law Wang Lin how he got his green card and settled here long-term with his kid. Every time he gave me a smirk and said, "Guess I'm just lucky." Of course I was hurt. Right after I hung up with my assistant, Liu Ruyan called me back. I wanted to hear what else she had to say, so I answered. As soon as I picked up, she started yelling at me. "My brother-in-law found out you called to confront me and he's in tears. He says he'll pull Hao Hao out of school and fly back tonight. You made Hao Hao cry." Sure enough, I heard her brother-in-law sobbing on the other end. And his kid yelling, "Why's the mean guy making Dad and me leave? I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. I don't want that jerk here. Brother-in-law, blame me, not Liu Ruyan. Don't fight with her." Liu Ruyan spoke softly to Hao Hao and her brother-in-law. "No one's kicking you out. I've got you. I'll make him apologize to you guys." Chen apologized to them. I hung up right away, tore up all my visa documents, and walked home. I don't even want this stupid green card. A little while later, Liu Ruyan pulled up next to me in her car. She rolled down the window. She said, "I knew you'd be mad." "Fine, you don't have to apologize. Are you really jealous of a widow and her kid? I came to pick you up. Get in." I didn't bother saying anything. I walked to the front passenger seat, opened the door, and saw Wang Lin. He raised an eyebrow and said awkwardly, "Sorry, Jiang Chen. I'm not feeling well today, so I'm taking the front. You sit in the back." Liu Ruyan stared at me nervously, ready to defend him. Normally, I would have frowned and refused, fighting for the front seat that belonged to me as her partner. But today I didn't say a word and got in the back. The Visa Center is 18 miles from downtown and cabs are hard to find. If she wanted to give me a ride, I'd just treat her like a free driver. Liu Ruyan looked surprised. Her lips moved and she turned to say something to me, but Wang Lin cut her off. Liu Ruyan, the cars behind are honking. Let's go. I closed my eyes. When the car stopped and I opened them, we were outside a Michelin-starred restaurant. Seeing I was shocked, Liu Ruyan smiled and said, Wang Lin felt bad about the green card stuff, so he's treating you to dinner to apologize. I said coldly, no thanks, I want to go home. Liu Ruyan pulled me out with a smile. Be good, my brother-in-law and I will explain the marriage thing to you. I sat there expressionless, watching the three of them act all cozy all night. Wang Lin would hand Liu Ruyan steak to cut, and Hao would beg her to feed him. I lost my patience and said, spit it out already. Liu Ruyan said slowly, let me order some wine first. Right after we ordered, Hao suddenly spit something out. Wang Lin gasped. Liu Ruyan hurried to say, honey, I'll take Hao to the bathroom to clean his shirt. Wait here for me. Wang Lin gave me a smug look, then took Liu Ruyan's hand. After 3 months of searching, I finally found the perfect school district house. It cost $3.7 million and I planned to pay in full. Just as I excitedly picked up the pen, ready to sign my name, I glanced at the owner section on the contract. 3 glaring words stared back at me. My mother-in-law's name. My husband acted like it was no big deal. Come on, it doesn't matter whose name it's under. The house will be ours eventually. Honey, just swipe your card first. I instantly flew into a rage. I didn't say a word, just gave him a cold look and walked straight out of the sales office. He never expected me to be so firm, throwing a fit behind me, but I'd already made up my mind. I wasn't marrying him. My pen hovered over the contract. I'd practiced my signature countless times. The sales rep held his breath, forcing a smile. I was about to sign the final stroke. $3.7 million paid in full, a perfect school district house. My life felt complete. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the owner's name. Those 3 words stabbed like a knife. Liu Fen. That was my mother-in-law's name. My hand froze mid-air, and a tiny ink blot spread on the paper. Everything went quiet for 3 seconds. Then Zhou Xiang nudged my arm.
Ran, hurry up and sign! What are you waiting for?
His voice was filled with barely contained joy. I didn't move. I looked up at him and he avoided my eyes. I stared back at the contract, black and white, clear yet absurd. What's going on? My voice was calm. The sales rep's smile froze. He glanced at Zhou Xiang, then at me. Zhou Xiang laughed awkwardly and pushed me again. Come on, it doesn't matter. My mom said putting it under her name gets us a discount, something with first-time buyer benefits. The house will be ours anyway. Honey, just swipe your card. He rushed to reach for my hand. He tried to grab my hand to help me sign. I twisted my wrist away. I set the pen gently on the desk. It made a soft click. Quiet as it was, the sound cut through the silent room. I didn't feel anger. I felt ice-cold dread. It was like a bucket of ice water dumped over my head in the middle of winter. I stared at Zhou Xiang, burning his careless, impatient face into my memory. Then I stood up. Su ran? Zhou Xiang froze. The sales rep stood up too. Miss Su, wait. I ignored them, grabbed my bag, and headed for the door. Babe, where are you going? Zhou Xiang snapped out of it, his voice urgent. He chased after me, trying to pull me back. We're not signing? What are you doing? I opened the door and walked out. The lobby was busy, music playing softly. No one knew. A silent explosion had just happened. I left Zhou Xiang's shouts behind me. Suran, stop right there. You walk out that door and we're done. I kept walking. My heels clicked on the marble floor, steady and firm. I reached my car, got in, and shut the door. Total silence. I watched in the rearview mirror as Zhou Xiang chased after me, furious. I couldn't hear what he was yelling. My phone buzzed like crazy in my bag. I knew it was him. I started the car. I hit the gas, smoothly pulling out of the parking lot. My phone still wouldn't stop buzzing. Annoyed, I pulled over, stopped the car, and took it out. The screen lit up with Zhou Xiang's name, dozens of missed calls. I stared at his name. We'd been together 5 years, from college to our jobs. I thought we were unbreakable. Turns out a $3.7 million house contract shattered us completely. I didn't call back. I opened my contacts, long pressed his name, and deleted it. Then I blocked him on WeChat and every other social media app. Once I was done, I tossed my phone onto the passenger seat. The sun was shining bright outside, but I felt not a single spark of warmth. I laid my head on the steering wheel for a long time, not crying. I just felt like those 5 years had been one big joke. Half an hour after I married my boyfriend Lu Chen, he told me his parents had secretly bought him a house, but the deed was only under his parents' names. Lu Chen repeated what his mom said. My salary would go to the mortgage and his would cover daily expenses. The 80,000 yuan bride price they gave me would pay for the renovations. Wenwan stared at that bright red marriage certificate, and her mind went completely blank. She spoke flatly. Let's go back in. Let's get a divorce. Wenwan and Lu Chen had dated for 3 years. Our parents had met, we'd had a big engagement party, and even taken beautiful wedding photos. They'd accepted the bride price, and I thought everything would go smoothly. Right before we got married, we'd excitedly picked out a new apartment in a great location, halfway between our jobs. Best of all, it was in a school district. Just out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, Wenwan grabbed Lu Chen's arm and said eagerly, let's go to the sales office right now and lock in that floor before someone else takes it. Lu Chen froze in place, looking hesitant and guilty. He hesitated a long time before speaking. My parents already bought me a place in Bright Moon Community. Wenwan was shocked. We agreed on Century Academy, didn't we? Bright Moon is right next to a huge industrial park. It's close to his job, but it'd take me over an hour to get to work each way. Century Academy is too expensive, and a school district is a waste of money, he said. He even asked her, you think our kid can't go to school without it? Wenwan was furious. We put a deposit down for Century Academy and you're backing out now? It's just a holding deposit, not a down payment. We can get it back. I wanted to put a real down payment to lock the floor, but Lu Chen refused. He said buying a house was too big a decision to rush, so we only put a holding deposit. He said it'd hold the unit for a few days, and since the house would be in both our names, we had to get married first. Naively, Wenwan agreed. We'd had the engagement, gotten the bride price. What difference did a few days make? So she married him without a second thought. She never imagined he'd been plotting this all along. Wenwan was trembling with anger. She screamed at him. "This is our future home! How could you buy it behind my back without even asking me?" "My parents paid for it," Lu Chen said, completely unapologetic. Stunned, Wenwan's mind went blank for a second. It took her a full minute to process what he'd said. If his parents paid, they got to decide, and she had no say at all. "We had a plan. Buy a school district house, split the 300,000 down payment, put it in both names, and pay the mortgage together after marriage." But now Lu Chen was trying to sweet-talk her. "Look, your family doesn't have to put anything down. We still get to live there. Isn't that great?" Lu Chen put the down payment right before the wedding and only told her after they were married. What a cheap trick. Something inside Wenwan broke. She looked at him like he was a total stranger, someone she'd never known. "So it's only in your name?" she asked. Lu Chen shook his head. "That 400,000 down payment is my parents' life savings. Putting it in their names is just security for them." Wenwan laughed coldly. "Of course it's in your parents' names, such a devoted son." They stood awkwardly on the sidewalk amid the crowd, but Wenwan pressed him. "My family asked for 100,000 for the bride price. Your family only gave 80,000, saying you couldn't spare anything else after the 300,000 down payment. So where did this 400,000 come from?" Seeing she was really angry, Lu Chen hurried to explain. "I wasn't lying about the bride price. We really couldn't afford more back then. My dad borrowed 100,000 from my uncle. Your parents don't have pensions and they have no savings. How are we going to pay my uncle back? We're the ones living in the house, so we'll split it, of course." Lu Chen grabbed her hand to pull her along, joking it off. "They're too old to work. You gonna make them get jobs to pay it back?" Wenwan stopped short and yanked her hand away. "Then what about the mortgage?" "We'll pay that together too," Lu Chen snapped, clearly done being nice. A second later, he softened his tone to coax her. "I know you're worried about our future, but it's all figured out. Your salary covers daily bills. I make 150,000 a year. We'll tighten our belts for the first couple years, pay the mortgage and the 100,000 to my uncle. It'll be fine. If not, your parents can help us out too." He actually had the nerve to say that. Wenwan laughed in anger. "You planned a lot more than that, didn't you?" Lu Chen froze. Every unit there is a blank slate. Where's the money for renovations going to come from? Before she even asked, she already knew the answer.